Hey folks, BlackCross here, and welcome to a discussion video. With this discussion video, before I get into it, I want everyone to know that this is very much still a rumor. It is very much a very small chance, and even I don't even know if it's possible or not. So, rather than take a grain of salt, take the smallest grain, a single grain, very small single grain of salt that you can find. That's how likely you should take it. No more than that. Even if that's the case. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because, according to Cynical, being that of TheGamersJoint, and I'll be sure to link his video in the description below for you to check it out, but from what he states, the reason why he's talking about this is because this guy who has brought up the discussion rumor itself has been right on numerous occasions and usually spot on. And it isn't until Cynical started to discuss about what he was mentioning on his Twitter page and everything, after translating it because he types it in Spanish and stuff, after translating it and discussing what he was talking about and stuff like that, most of the stuff hits on board. In other words, all of the stuff that you're going to be hearing me, if you've been keeping up with news at all like I have, you'll realize that these are starting to click and everything is starting to lay down in place, and this could very well possibly be true. Now, that's out of the way, and if you want to check out that video first before I get into this discussion, by all means, please do. That way we'll be in the same level of ideal of where we'll be at and what we can openly think of. Keep in mind, though, we don't have any ideals if any of this is even true. But most of the stuff that this dude is saying hits home run. It really does. It's like spot on. It's like, this actually makes perfect sense. It does. So, with that being said, there are three things. Let's go into three things in this case. Three things that he has discussed that makes a lot of sense. Not make sense, but three things that he has brought up that grabs attention. Number one, he's saying that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be released in 2018. Now, for most of us, we kind of theorize that this could be a 2018 release date since the beginning of 2017. What with Kingdom Hearts 2.8 being pushed back in January, we had Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 this last March, and then of course the recent update for Kingdom Hearts Key not so much back cover, but Kingdom Hearts Key, the phone app, it's recently got an update. So with that being said, I think every one of us can assume that this was going to be more than likely a 2018 release. Especially since we hadn't heard any news at all. And he actually brings this up too, so I'll get into that in just a sec. But he says, and quoting, that Square Enix is one to release Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2018, finished or not. Now, at first, I got confused on this one and was thinking that they could be releasing an unfinished game and it could have problems, it could have difficulties, and it's like, oh no, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have a rough start when it comes out. That's not what they're saying. What he's actually referring to is that in Kingdom Hearts 3 case, there will be cut content that was originally going to be part of Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, what type of cut content are we talking about? More than likely, the majority of it will be mini-games and, characters that would appear in the game. Perfect example is that of Kingdom Hearts 2. If you look deep enough into Kingdom Hearts 2 development stage, they had a lot more planned out. A lot more, actually. They had originally planned that Buzz Lightyear and Woody would appear as summons. They had an ideal of the final boss being a completely different states. And then if you wanted to go into even bigger detail, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, They wanted to add Pleakley into the space prison station, and they wanted to add the Jungle Book world into that one. They never got added on there, but they cut them out. You can still find their code in the game, but you can't see them in the main game itself. So with that being said, there is no doubt in my mind that this makes sense, that there will be cut content. So, in other words, so long as it's not story portion that gets cut, and so much as like in-game stuff that really they thought, okay, this really isn't really on the main criteria, so let's just cut that out and cut the time consumption. That's what they're referring to. That's what they're referring to of cut content. They're referring to of stuff that they feel like isn't really needed in the game. Mini games that they feel like, oh, people will find this probably boring or something like that. Or cut certain stuff. And who knows? Depending on the cut content, they could probably re-release it as DLC. As much as I don't want it to be. But if that's the case, chances are they might actually do that instead. But who really knows? Because at this point right now, there is no Kingdom Hearts game that has ever had a DLC. They've had some updates, but they've never had DLC. To my knowledge, anyway. Like I said, I've never played the Kingdom Hearts Key series on the phone app because my phone doesn't have that capability. But as far as I know, they've never had DLC. So Kingdom Hearts 3, if it does, which I hope not, again, I'm hoping not, but if it does, this would be the first time it would have them. So, whether they have too much or not enough, it will get released in 2018. But keep this in mind, take that as a grain of salt, because what I'm about to tell you next coincides with this theory. And that is this, that there will be a new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer before E3. How much further before E3? It could be any time this month. Or at the start of next month even. It could be any time. In other words, Kingdom Hearts 3 new trailer we will more than likely be seeing. And if that's the case, then chances are they're going to go into discussion and deep detail as to Kingdom Hearts 3 at E3. Which would also mean that Kingdom Hearts 3 will be part of the showcasing of the PlayStation Coliseum that has recently been talked about. Another thing that has been brought up during that portion is that Tetsuya Nomura will appear there discussing about the game. In other words, the main director himself will be there. Now, originally, the ideal was this, and he even points this out too, that originally it was going to be released in April. It was originally going to be released in April, and then it was going to be released later on within the year with cut content. However, that trailer got pulled down by Asaka himself. And if this makes sense, if this trailer is indeed the one that Tetsuya Nomura was saying, hey, we're going to be releasing years worth of information, so sit tight, this could be why. Is that they had a trailer, but because someone was saying, hey, let's keep this down because there's still going to be some cut content that we still need to cut if we're going to be able to make the push. Keep this in mind throughout the entire time. They've had an ideal date to release Kingdom Hearts 3. They had an ideal date. They had this entire planned out. Which also means that if this ideal plan is still in existence and it has not moved, that means it's still been there. Which means it still has been somewhere in 2018. It wasn't 2016. It wasn't 2017. It was 2018. And that ideal plan was basically to lay down the groundwork, get some blueprints fixed up, then get working onto the game, make certain it's put together well, put them in the right places and stuff. And in other words, from where Tetsuya Nomura stated earlier this year, I think it was earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, he stated that it wasn't playable. It was showcaseable, but not playable. Which means now it is indeed playable. So, is it finished yet? I don't think it's 100% finished. I don't think it's 100%. It's more than likely in the 90% error of being completed. And by 90%, I mean that it still needs to be test run to make certain that everything looks good. And then once that gets completely done, they're going to be sending that out onto a conveyor belt and printing out copies for worldwide release. That's another thing that was brought up, was the fact that they're still wanting to do a worldwide release for Kingdom Hearts 3. They realized doing this for Final Fantasy 15 was a big deal. So in other words, by doing a worldwide release, they have more of a chance to actually get more sales going out there. So in other words, Kingdom Hearts 3 is still going to be a worldwide release, and everyone will still be getting their copy on the same day. Again, still don't know what that date is, but so far it is still being considered 2018. And then we have this discussion at hand, which also gives me another clear definition ideal that this could be true. He went on to say that Tetsuki Nomura's mind is not set on Kingdom Hearts 3 now. Rather, instead, it is set on what happens after Kingdom Hearts 3. As we all know, he stated that Kingdom Hearts 3 does not end there, but rather that's the end of the Xehanort saga. In other words, the entire series will still continue on afterwards. What new stories, what new adventures will hold, no one knows at this current moment in time, but something tells me we will find out after we beat Kingdom Hearts 3, as there will be a secret video, probably more than likely. With all the information that we know of right now, it makes sense for why we've been going through this stage of not getting any form of information whatsoever. It is because the company has had these sudden up and down, these sudden roller coaster rides, and now it is slowly starting to finally ease on out. And if it's true that they're going to be releasing a trailer for this, then after E3, we can definitely confirm 2018 will be the year that Kingdom Hearts 3 gets released. I can guarantee it. We've already got all of the games being released this year for everyone to play and be caught up with the story. All that's left now is, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3. So, what I wanted to bring up in this discussion is what I want to see within this new trailer, if that's true. If it's true that this is indeed the trailer that we're going to be seeing, then I want to know as much as possible. Not so much story portion, but everything else. I want to see new worlds, I want to see new drives, I want to be able to see more of the rides that we were told that we were going to get. I want to see summons that we were told that was going to appear in it, or if they're still going to be in it. As far as we know, we haven't seen one summon yet. We've seen drive form, we've seen shock locks, we've seen the flow motion rides and stuff like that. We've seen that, but we haven't seen a single solitary summon. Another thing is, of course, the individual worlds. I want to see more worlds. We've only seen a handful, okay? We've seen Twilight Town, we've seen Yangtze Castle, we've seen Tangle's World, we've seen Olympic Coliseum. We haven't seen anything else. We've only been told. We haven't even seen Big Hero 6's world. We've been told it will be part of the game, but we haven't seen the world yet, have we? We haven't. So in other words, we have no idea if it still has been planned to be in the game or not. That's what is really interesting, is that we don't even know if it was still originally planned in the world or not. They may have announced it, but they never said any more than that. They didn't even show an official trailer for that world. They've only said, oh, Big Hero 6 will be part of Kingdom Hearts 3. That's it. So again, within 1 month from now, we will probably be getting a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, if that's true. And if so, I want to see as much as possible as to what it could be. And trust me whenever I say this, you're going to get one hell of a reaction trailer for that one. And then of course there's still the aftermath. Like Teskimura said, Kingdom Hearts does not end at Kingdom Hearts 3. It's going to continue on because of how popular the series has become and as to how interesting everyone has been in with the Kingdom Hearts series. So the biggest criteria interest is this. What will happen? Personally, I want them to try to work on a Kingdom Hearts Dynasty Warrior type gameplay. I know that seems like a lot of work, and I do understand that. But honestly, I think it would be cool just to see something like that. Or hell, if you want to do something differently than that, make a mode in Kingdom Hearts 3 where swarms will come in and fight. Sort of like the 1,000 Heartless boss fight. Not boss fight, but the 1,000 Heartless fight that was in Kingdom Hearts 2. Let's see something like that being put into Kingdom Hearts 3 as a mode. Not so much as a scene, but a mode. Where the entire world is covered in Heartless and you're fighting every last one of them. I want to see that. That would be so cool to me. Just being able to fight all of those swarms of Heartless and stuff like that. But that is a question. What's going to happen after Kingdom Hearts 3? Because he is right now thinking about what will happen. He is right now being carefully considerate as to what will happen within the next entry. In other words, how it ends in Kingdom Hearts 3 will be starting off in the next one. Now, as for the title itself, as we all know, sometimes it never is a number. Sometimes it could be a random association, such as Burst by Sleep, 358.5/2 days, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. You get the picture. We've had so many different sidelines, and it's just like, we're right there. We're right there. We're right there. We're waiting. We're waiting. That's all it is. We're just waiting to see what happens. But like I said, take this with a single grain of salt, because if this is true, we can assume that everything else will be true. If Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer does get released before E3, and it shows up at E3 and the date is confirmed and stuff like that, we can assume that they are correct. Now, since 2018 could be the year, what is more than likely probably going to be the exact date? I'm looking somewhere between August and November. I say that for two reasons. Number one, in the past couple releases, minus these of course, they've been wanting to release them in somewhere in fall and winter. That's where I'm thinking that they're wanting to release it at. Either sometime after summer has ended or sometime before Christmas, because that's where the sales would finally go up. You think about it, this is Kingdom Hearts 3 we're talking about. So multiple people are going to be going in there and picking up this game as soon as it comes out. And with Kingdom Hearts 3, there's no difference. So it's like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 3, finally, we're finally getting the game that we've all been waiting for, and so on and so forth. So I'm thinking it could be later in 2018. Not early, but later. That's not to say that it could change. Again, it never brought up the ideal discussion as to when exactly in 2018. It was saying just 2018. But if I had to take a guess, I'd say late 2018. It would be hard to say, but until a trailer gets revealed, a new trailer, a brand new trailer, a brand new one, comes out before E3, we cannot assume anything else, anything more than that. Because we have no idea how exactly correct this is. He may have a good track record, but in my mind, we still don't know. Anyway, though, I just want to go ahead and bring this discussion up because, like I said, this is something that has been on my mind all day, and I wanted to go ahead and share my thoughts on it with you guys. It's just, I was like, this is festering me so badly, I want to go ahead and talk about it right now. So, at any rate, though, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Take care, guys.